Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boy clothes, 1975. A YouTuber is on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends used to bug him. Long boys clothes, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Long Boys Post. Welcome to the Wednesday vlog. Look at that. Well, you can't see that. You can just see light. It's absolutely pissing it down. I absolutely adore the rain. That's a completely random tangent way to start the Wednesday vlog. First of all, if you're expecting answers to all the questions you asked, which I asked you to ask in the Q&A last week, I'm going to leave it open for a week longer. So that will be coming up. I haven't forgotten. But based on an experience I had this week where it kind of really hammered something home, which obviously you know now because you've read the title. This video is just on something I want to talk about because it's weird, right? I ordered Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild last week. Now, I would have pre-ordered it, but for some reason, this is what, you know, let it be a lesson. Don't listen to people at work who said, oh, it's coming out on the Switch, and then you're going to have to wait weeks for it to be out on the Wii U. And like a plum, I never checked up online or anything like that. And then, so imagine my surprise when I thought, bollocks, I could have been playing it now. So I ordered it, ordered it off Amazon 2 days ago. Next day delivery, my ass. And all I can say is, please come, Zelda. Hey, that's what Link said. And it's not, and it's frustrating the hell out of me because I want to play it so badly. And yeah, I'm not going to get into arguments about which is going to be better or worse, the Switch or the Wii U, because, you know, I just want to play the game. This is the only means I have to play it. But, I'm going off on a waffle again, but when I ordered it, that's when something hit home to me. And that's why I want to do this video, because I know there's a plethora of videos out there about the Switch and unboxings of the Switch and stuff like that, but I'm not interested in the Switch. Yeah, so when I was ordering it, it dawned on me, based on recent history with Nintendo, that, oh my god, this is the last Wii U game, or certainly, you know, the last first-party Wii U game, guaranteed. Well, and as for third-party, what third-party? But that's not a problem for me. And yeah, it was just, I had one of those moments where you just sit down and you think, and you think, that's it, wow. You know, I only got to experience it for 4 years, but you know, the Wii U scraped in just about 5 years, which you could argue is what the Wii did, even though that was successful. But yeah, it was just like, wow, that's it. No more games for the Wii U. It's game over. It's done. As a system, it's done. Now, it's not all doom and gloom. I understand that there's the shop and that'll still be supported, and there's loads of games out there that I haven't bought, and there's loads of, you know, downloadable content and stuff like that. You know, and it's still a viable system for a while, but it still hammered home when I was ordering that game that that's it for the Wii U as a system. You know, its life is officially done and dusted. And I found it a little bit sad because, yeah, from Nintendo's perspective, it was a failure. Yeah, I think, you know, their fans and those of us who supported it have got kind of the rough end of the stick here, but it is gonna go down as one of my favourite consoles of all time. Seriously, no guff. I absolutely love and adore the Wii U. So I thought I'd just have, you know, reminisce some of my memories about it, you know, as a system and how I enjoyed it and why I got it and things like that. And this isn't a negative video, you know, this is my positive, my memories and why I honestly think the Wii U is a great system. And all the criticism I've ever heard of the Wii U has been by people, and I did a video about this, by people who've never owned one, and people who have criticised it then got to play it have always come out, you know, having really enjoyed the experience. And some of my times my mates have actually ended up buying it. But yeah, if you want to know my thoughts on Nintendo and how they treat their customers, I've done a video on that. I'll put a link in the doohickey down below, and if you want to see a list of my a video I did showing all my Wii U games, or then Wii U games, I'll put a link to that in the doohickey down below. But yeah, what can I say about the Wii U? I mean I love the pad. It got off to a creaky start, and it's funny because I bought it as an alternative to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, and here we are, you know, with a new Nintendo console 5 years later, 4 in my case, and those systems are still going strong. Granted, the 0.5 versions are coming out or whatever. But yeah, going back 4 years, I never intended to get one on launch. I saw, like a few things about it, E3 and things like that. And thought, yeah, it looks really, really promising. But again, I was a little bit gutted that, my Wii, which I absolutely adored, was, coming to an end of its life. And yeah, basically, I thought, well, I don't. After the press shows and stuff for the Xbox One, and the initial ones were kind of bad, and the PlayStation 4, I just thought, I'm not interested. I still have neither of those systems, and I don't want to switch, by the way. So never say never. But yeah, and that's what led me to buy the Wii U. Was I didn't want those other systems, and I didn't. Thought, you know what? That's it. I'm gonna buy a Wii U. I've always had good experience with Nintendo consoles. Gonna buy a Wii U. Pad looks kind of interesting, stuff like that. Bought it where I worked. Trade discount, stuff like that. The first games I got were Zombie U, which is alright, it's an early title, but I love zombies, everyone knows that. Mario, New Mario Brothers, whatever, I forget its full title, was an absolutely fantastic game. And secondhand from Pink Planet, Batman Arkham City, and I was blown away. A little bit annoyed, but you hear the rumours that you had to sit there and wait for it to update. But yeah, I was absolutely blown away. I loved it. I understood. I walked into it knowing it was not as powerful as the other systems. That didn't bother me. That when that's used as an argument, that's never ever kind of held true to me. Or what bothered me. It's just like if you went into buying a system knowing what you're going to get or expecting, then that's not an argument. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. And I, ain't the best build quality, but I'm not talking about that. And I thought the pad was a really, really cool, innovative thing. I love the fact that one of you, again, I know how it works and stuff. It's something those who've never played it have to experience to understand why it's not just a gimmick out of the box and stuff like that. But one of you can play on the TV screen while the other one play, with the Pro Pad, because you can have a Pro Pad. People thought you just had to have this. And it's a really good controller. And the other one can play on this, so you can do, 2-player without having to do split screen simultaneously. Or someone can play on the system, with this, while someone watches TV. You can tune this into your TV. You can get YouTube and iPlayer and stuff like that on it. So it's an entertainment hub. Yeah, I honestly really, really, really like the controller. Sure, the screen's not the best, but it works for me. And so I was just having a massive, massive amount of fun. And, the excitement of having a new system, alright, I didn't have an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4. People at work and mates around me were taking the piss out of me, and I saw all the stuff that people were getting, online. And then I saw the dropping away, rather quickly of third-party support. Excuse me, no offence, third-party support. For the Wii U, and everyone was going, they've lost third-party support, your console's fucked. Maybe it was. But again, that didn't bother me, because I've always said this: if you buy a Nintendo console, what do you buy it for? You buy it for first-party Nintendo titles. And there's so many, many great, amazing ones. Obviously, the Mario games, you got Kirby, you got, Splatoon. Well, it's not really Nintendo, but you know what I mean. It just... I can't explain. I always got a little bit miffed and angry that people would just badmouth it. And then, I had it for a while, and I had these games, and I bought a few second-hand games. And then the ones that we bought the system for, the ones that we knew other people would pay attention to, it kind of spiked the sales of this system, came out. Excuse me. Yeah, breakfast. And kicked in. So we had, Mario Kart 8, which is just unbelievably, phenomenally good. Absolutely amazing. Just absolutely fantastic. And we had Super Smash Brothers, which again is an absolutely amazing game. I'm leaving amiibos out of this. I've owned a few, but I was never a fan of... I keep them boxed because that's what I do with action figures. I was never really a fan of that, But yeah, those two games are absolutely fantastic, and those were ones you could say to other people, we got these. Yeah, admit it. For once, you're a bit envious that you can't have those. And yeah, so, the big titles were on it and stuff like that, and I just kept playing it online, and having mates in and playing, with them, and just my love for it just grew and grew and grew. And at this point, when people were badmouth, it's just water off a duck's back. I didn't care. I had my big games to look forward to. Games, because I guess it wasn't an Uber in-demand system. There were games would constantly show up in sort of second-hand shops and stuff like that, because main party new games were expensive, so you had to trade against them, because that's one thing Nintendo always does. The games hold their price, and then Christmases came, and my brother always used to buy me a Wii U game at Christmas, and getting games at Christmas again was just an absolutely fantastic thing, part of my childhood. So he bought me Ghosts one year, which again, that was the Call of Duty games dropped from it, but it was absolutely fantastic playing that, with a mate, one of you on the pad, one of you on the screen, as it was Black Ops 2, which I also own, which is an absolutely fantastic game. And Excuse me. And then the next year he bought me Batman. What was the? Oh, I can't remember the one after Arkham City. God, my memory terrible. Spider-Man, movie 2, which is a free-roaming Spider-Man game. Yeah, lots of these are on other systems. These are some of the the third-party games, but it was just. Again, it was my system, and it's funny because the few of us I knew at work who had Wii U's, it was like this little sort of internship or something, a little club where, because you just felt that everyone was like it was a class thing, that everyone was looking down on you, but you knew secretly somewhere along the line there were things that they weren't getting, and you were getting on the Wii U that they were jealous of. I'm sure I'm going to get trolled to shit by fanboys for that, but it's true. It's absolutely true. And so time went on. We're like 2.5, 3 years in now, and I'm just steadily buying games. I'm buying loads behind the scenes. I'm actually for the first time properly buying digital download games. I bought Hyrule Warriors simply because it was late one Saturday night. I worked Sundays, and obviously there was nowhere open. I couldn't get it, and I thought, bollocks, I'm going to buy the digital download. Hindsight. Took quite a while. Fantastic game. I bought, that's another great thing. The Nintendo shop. I don't know what it's like on Xbox One with Xbox Live now, and I certainly don't know what the PlayStation store's like because I've never been on it. But the Wii store was absolutely fantastic, and it was still operating. Excuse me, I do apologise. Operating the Wii shop through the Wii backward compatibility part of the Wii U, which again is something which is a shame with the Switch, obviously because it's the media, it uses, but I've always liked the fact that it was backward compatibility, true backward compatibility. And obviously, I'm not suggesting you do this, but you could hack the Wii side of your Wii U, and then you could play GameCube games on your Wii U. But the greatest thing about when you played Wii games on the Wii U, it was upscaled it to 1080, so that was something else. Unless I wanted to play an import game, could. Or something like that, or set my Wii up again. We didn't want to use it for emulation or stuff like that. It was just handy just having my Wii U set up all the time and be able to slap in Wii games, and they look absolutely fantastic. But back to the shop, then they would be having these sales wherever they start releasing the Wii catalog on there. If you bought it straight away, you get it for half price and things like this. And yeah, so like I said, I bought so much downloadable media, which is something I never thought I would do, old school and new school. And this comes from someone who can emulate everything. I bought lots of the indie games, Shovel Knight, I got that, that's absolutely fantastic. One thing, nothing to do with the Wii U's fault, completely on me, should have bought a hard drive, couldn't be asked, was lazy. All of a sudden I wake up one day and I've got like 5 memory sticks, 8 SD cards, and so my library of if I want to show my library of digital media, I'd have to hold a hand cupped like that full of all these little chips and shit, but that's entirely on me. But bought Shovel Knight, bought the Tekken Tag Tournament 2, bought a whole bunch of indie games when they were reduced to super cheap. Bought Another World Anniversary Edition. Sorry, I never fry mushrooms, I've learned that today, but yeah, I don't even want to know how much I've spent on it, but I don't care because it's all epic, and bought Wii games as well, because they were cheaper than buying, stuff like Mario Galaxy. It was cheaper than buying a copy because of the price it held. And time was chugging on. You constantly saw these announcements. You couldn't, even as somebody who loves the Wii U as much as me, you couldn't bury your head in the sand anymore. You saw that Nintendo were getting itchy fingers and getting ready to, we got to do something about this. We got to claim back our place in the market. And so you knew it was, the end of days was coming. The Reaper was hanging around in the sticks and shit coming for the Wii U. But, you just kept putting it to the back of your mind. So it's funny, last year when I talked about it, was just before they announced that they officially stopped manufacturing the console. I talked about, a video I did about why do people slag off the Wii when they've never played it. And I had no idea that literally, the swan song was just about to slap me in the face. And a week or so, or a couple of weeks later, then there it was. Boom. They're not making it anymore. That's it. And that was it. Now we didn't know. We heard rumors about the next system by Nintendo, but until I physically see an image or something that's confirmed by Nintendo or any company, you don't believe it. You just don't accept it. It's just it's not tangible until till shit's hit you in the face. But then that was when that came out. It was like, well, yeah, that's. Oh, I'm a little bit upset. I'm not sure how I felt about that, but the games were still coming out, and the games were still coming forth, and good games and big titles, and so I was still happy. I wasn't in complete denial. And then, when we basically found out that Zelda, even though we wanted it and we were going to get it, this is one thing that does annoy me about Nintendo of recent years. Why is the Zelda game always at the end of a system's life now instead of the start? Yes, you could argue it is with the Switch, but or with Twilight Princess, but no, they're both ports of the previous system. And the Switch is a port. I look it up. It's interesting history and convoluted. But yeah, so that was it. That was official. That was sad. And I thought, like, what do I do? Do I get a Switch? Do I get a 360? Do I 360 Xbox One? Do I get PlayStation 4? And I thought, no. I'm going to stick with it. I love it. To me, it's still got years in it. I'm not one of those people that just goes, boom, I can't afford it for starters. Game over, off to something new, greener pastures ahead. And as I said, there is longevity in it for a bit. Well, it's a retro gameplay. There is forever, although that does involve how long will the internet be there to update it, patch it, stuff like that. But I guess that is not really that relevant anymore, since most of my games are patched. But yeah, it was just... Ordering it was where, like, the wolves came in, and I realised, oh, bollocks. I understood it got bad press, but I can honestly say, hand on heart, I absolutely loved and adored my Wii U. I had so much fun with it. It will go down as one of my favourite consoles ever. Screw the haters. And you know what? At least if me and my Wii U, if this is it, if this is game over, when Zelda comes, teehee, at least we're going out with a bang. But one more thing I just want to quickly talk about is where do I think, or why do I think it failed? I think a lot of people, this is a given, but I think most people on the internet will cite these two things, and that's people who loved it, by the way. Don't hate on it, but Nintendo's marketing on this, where was it? I mean, I can remember, even though I didn't have it for a year or so, launch week, I don't think I saw anything. I think only things I saw was on the internet, but on TV, I mean, TV's still relevant and counts for promoting your new system. Hell yeah, you've got to get yourself a cool ad, with like some sort of stick, sorry. There was nothing, and it was never fully explained what it was. And yeah, other people have said this, but should it have been called the Wii U? I've always actually liked the name, but then doesn't really separate itself enough from, the Wii. And again, this is, everyone said this, it's a no-brainer, but there were so many peripherals for the Wii. I honestly believe when this first came out, I thought it was like a screen you could play with your Wii on this. I actually thought that. It wasn't until I read a few more things on the internet I realised, wait, this is a whole new console. I thought, because I said to myself, I thought that was a fucking gimmick. Why would you release a screen so you can play your fucking Wii on a screen when you could play on the TV anyway? Which kind of argue badly to why I love being able to do that on this, but honestly, you got to sit down and do it. It's fantastic. But yeah, they never really marketed it properly or explained that it was the successor to that system. And people will say, well, they went with a gimmick again. First it was motion controls, now it was this. I don't think it was a gimmick. Again, sit down and play it if you haven't. It works really, really well. But yeah, lack of marketing, lack of proper explanation of what the system is, yeah, and basically, drawing a line in the sand between it and the previous one, basically making it, basically massive launch and a new name or something, and not like a numbered name. I don't like that. Just pick a new fucking name and give it a new name. So yeah, honestly think if they did that, new name, proper launch, proper marketing, and basically just explain their system to people, I don't think it would have gone as tits up as it did. But that said, I'm going to round it up now. I mean, fellow Wii U owners, how do you feel now? Or have you, moved on to the Switch? But I'm more interested in what you think about the Wii U. Are you sad? Are you gutted? Is it a sad day for you? Is it one of your favourite consoles? Have you honestly, genuinely, really enjoyed your time with it and loved it as a system? And for anyone else out there who's never owned one, I'd like to know what you think. Look at in from the window, if you will. But yeah, honest to God. Oh, sorry, someone asked me. I should have fucking remembered and put this at the start of the video. I haven't got the biggest game library ever. Sorry, ignoring, as I said, my media. But, here's a picture of all my games. So anyway, yeah, just to sum up, I just wanted to put a little video out now that it's obviously basically, the clock is, it's not just ticking, it's winding down, the battery's gone. And what I thought of the Wii U and why, why I absolutely loved it. Anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.